Welcome back to Crusader Kings 3. Today we're going to be carrying on our Kingdom of Ireland playthrough, and today I have a little special plan. But first, let's go ahead and unpause because we are currently on a pilgrimage, and good timing there. We just gained a level of devotion. Sometimes timing is very good. Unfortunately, we just became lost though. I could have sworn that this was supposed to be the path onwards. None of my companions or I have managed to find our way back to the pilgrimage route. Are we even looking at the right stars at night? It feels as if we have been wasting weeks. So we must find a guide no matter the cost. We can't really afford that right now. I swear it's just a little further in this direction. We get lost for 5 years. Oh, a severe health penalty. That doesn't sound good. Let's see. It's best to enjoy things in moderation. We are brave. Challenges or danger, first who fears nothing. So maybe venturing on by ourselves is the brave thing to do. I swear it's just a little further in this direction. We should be okay. We are quite healthy right now. If we look at our health is fine, so there we go. My aunt was released from prison. My neighbour, King Tosti of Sweden. Okay, there was a Northman army conquest against the Swedish. There we go. We might have to attend one of those as well. Let's continue with the pilgrimage. I finally stand on the hills outside Constantinople, a glimmering jewel of civilization that echoes with the glory of the Roman Empire. It is truly a sight to behold. Near the centre I can see the Hagia Sophia, the great centre of worship which is often considered the epitome of the Byzantine architecture. It is far from the only wonder here though, and as I gaze out over the city, I marvel at the glories of God's creation. I have walked the holy path, so we become a pilgrim. So we're going to gain some extra piety. Now, first who has completed a pilgrimage to a holy site, we also gain a huge lump of piety. Because our faith has the ecclesiarchy tenet, we gain the seats of bishop for 10 years, so plus 10 clergy opinion as well. So we have walked the holy path. There we go. What a nice start to the episode today. However, what's not a nice start? We're currently being raided. We should probably defend against these Estonian raiders here. Are they actually raiding us, or will, after Dunbar, will they leave us in peace? I'm not quite sure. Let's go ahead and unpause and just watch them. If they come towards these lands, then we're going to have to raise the men. The Eggenack Riflin dynasty is known far and wide, so our level of splendour's increased. We're now well known, so our children are born with 500 prestige, and marrying into the dynasty gives plus 400 prestige, so maybe that will help us with some stronger marriages in the future. It looks like these raiders are coming south, right? Vassal also taken prisoner. Oh dear. Do we have any... We don't have any rally points over here. That's what they're called. There we go. So what I might do, actually, let's just to be safe, I'm going to put it south of the river, just in case it takes a little bit for us to raise our armies. 52 days. There we go. We're going to raise an army to go ahead and deal with these raiders. My journey has been a long one, but I have finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the priests and bishops treat me. I have undergone the journey of a holy man, and they insist it has changed something about me, whether I can see it in myself or not. And there we go. It is good to be home. We went to Constantinople, and we are now back in the comforts of our own court. In fact, we could hold court. I'm going to wait for that, because I have another plan, which I want to partake in first. Let's go ahead and pause this. We're being raided again. Okay, that's just these guys. I think with this army here, we should have enough here, so I'm going to stop gathering, and we're just going to hopefully deal with these raiders before they set off sail into the ocean. Looks like we will go ahead and win this battle here. There we go, very nice. We recover 151 gold. Wow. We also get 76 prestige. Let's go ahead and look at the details of that battle. We did manage to kill one of their champions, however one of ours was wounded as well. So not the most optimal thing there. Hopefully these raiders leave for good. Will they set sail? It looks like they're just going south. Are they actually going to leave us? I'm not quite sure. Let's go ahead and disband the army though, just because that's costing us a fair bit. And then, now we're getting on to the juicy part of today's episode. I've been waiting to form the hybrid culture between Anglo-Saxon and Irish. However, it doesn't pop up in the current situations. In fact, before I started recording today, I decided to go to the culture view, because we do have Irish, and we do have Anglo-Saxon lands over here. And as you can see, the acceptance is more than 40%, which is what you need to form a hybrid culture. And alas, there's the hidden button. We can actually form a hybrid culture with the Irish. However, if we just clicked here, look, we can only diverge culture. Same if we click on here, we can only diverge. So that hybrid culture button is quite hidden. So let's go ahead and form the hybrid culture, and we are going to go ahead and call this what are we going to call this? I think we're going to go ahead and call this the no, I've done this wrong. Not there we go. The Anglo-Irish is what we're going to go for. Let's go ahead and copy that. Collective noun, I think, is just Anglo-Irish as well. And same with the prefix. I think it's just Anglo-Irish, everything. I don't know. English wasn't my strongest subject. So we're just going to go Anglo-Irish for everything. I think that makes sense. Now, what do we want here? We could go with bureaucratic. So, all Anglo-Saxon characters, monthly lifestyle experience, plus 5%. Cultural fascination progress. Ah, so this is our research for new technologies and development growth improves. Or we could take quarterly. We gain monthly prestige. Title cost, creation cost minus 15%. House opinion plus 5. And court grandeur bonus plus 5 as well. Now, I think... The monthly prestige is very nice. However, monthly lifestyle experience, as well as cultural fascination, is also nice. No culture lasts longer than its oldest record, and this culture believes in accounting so meticulous as to guarantee immortality. Or this one, the ceremony of court life is so integral to this culture that it forms a core part of the people's social behavior, a place for everyone and everyone in their place. I think if we want to make a long-standing culture that's going to stand the tests of time. So I think we're going to go with bureaucratic. And then as for our heritage, a heritage is a cultural pillar that represents the common ancestry of several cultures. Cultures of the same heritage generally have high acceptance of one another. So we could go with West Germanic. We could go with Goidelic. Before we do this, I actually just want to look at Irish. Irish is Goidelic, right? Goidelic heritage. I think we want the Goidelic heritage, just because we are starting in Ireland rather than over here in Britannia. So I think that makes sense. So let's go back to over here. Oh, luckily it saved our settings. That's nice. So we're going to go for Goidelic heritage. And then as for language... I think we're also going to keep this on Goidelic. The culture's dominant language includes a broad selection of dialects, vernaculars, creoles, I've never heard of these words, and related minor tongues which are often, though not necessarily, mutually intelligible or easier to learn. Okay, so we could go Goidelic, Goidelic. However, I think maybe we should combine. So heritage is Goidelic, but maybe we use the Anglic language. Plus 10 cultural acceptance baseline with culture sharing this language, our native language. Just so we are actually forming a hybrid culture. Martial custom, we can only pick men only. Now, we will discover this Irish innovation. Okay. So the new culture will be created with you as the cultural head. That's nice. Acceptance of Anglo-Saxons and Irish would be 100%. That's also really nice. You would discover this Irish... Ah, we need to go through here. Okay, this is why it looks a bit empty. So we can pick up to 6 traditions from either culture. So basically, we just want to pick one of these to not include. So let's go ahead and read through them. So herds lets us recruit Huskos as men-at-arms. They are very strong. Traits such as strong or hale are seen as prestigious, but strong trait is more common. It sounds good if we want to breed some strong Irish people. Traits such as weak or delicate are looked down upon. Children are more likely to get the rowdy trait. So that's martial and intrigue and less likely to get pensive. So all Irish characters get +2 prowess, number of knights +1, but cultural fascination progress -15%. The tradition of keeping armed retinues in service to a household has served us well. By formalizing and expanding this system, we can field entire regiments of Huskills in our armies. Now, I do like the sound of that, so for now we're going to click on this. What about this? Pastoralists. The pastoral lands line of buildings have additional bonuses in counties of this culture, and all characters get +1 prowess, and we also get some disease resistance. This culture is at home in wide and open terrain where they herd large groups of animals. We'll think about that one. City keepers. This guild's line of building can be constructed 1 era early. Cities holdings give more popular opinion per level. Rulers of this culture are more likely to construct city holdings, and the architect trait provides a prestige bonus. That's nice. Also -25% city building construction time. Cities are the beating urban heart of this culture, and they wish for every one of their metropolises to become an enviable gems known across the world. That does sound ambitious and sounds like a prosperous island, so we're going to click on this one. Let's see. Maritime mercantilism. The trade port line of buildings can be constructed 1 era early. Coastal holdings in counties of this culture also provide an additional 10% tax, and Republic vassal opinion +10. So the world may be ruled by armies, but this culture knows that it is truly controlled by whoever dominates the flow of gold across the seas. I think this makes sense because we are surrounded by the sea. Monastic communities. The temperate trait is more common. Temperate traits have additional bonus. The monk traits have additional bonuses. And characters of this culture are more likely to accept taking the vows, especially your underage children. That could be useful. This culture has a long history of sending noble progeny to serve the faith. Revered political thinkers often arise from the monastic orders. Well, think about that one. What about the Witten? Can enact the Saxon elective succession law, and all Irish characters gain monthly prestige per powerful vassal on the council. I like this. All characters with theocratic realm priest opinion +15. This culture has a long history of holding assemblies comprised of the land's ruling potentates, debating politics, law, finance, and most importantly, how best to advise the ruler. I do like the idea of the Witten. And then we have refined poetry. The poet trait has additional bonuses. The poet trait is more common, and characters of this culture perform better when appointed to the court position. So poetry is considered a noble art in this culture, and many spend their time piecing words together with meaning and thought. I like that. And then as for our last tradition, I think we're going to go with this one just for the extra prowess and the disease resistance. So we're going to ignore monastic communities here. So that's looking good. And then as for aesthetics, let's see. Military equipment, continental Europe. Okay, so we can't change this. Naming practices. I think we're going to go for both. Yes. We'll use names from both cultures. I like that. Architecture is continental European. Fashion, Northern European or Northern European and Continental European. Not sure. Let's go for this one. Let's broaden our fashion, I guess. And then as for coats of arms, we'll use the coat of arm elements from both cultures. Let's go for both. Right, there we go. So that's going... 4 of my 5 vassals will convert as well. So that's good. They're all family members. My cousin... not sure who you are to me. You're my cousin as well. But they are people of my dynasty. And I think we're ready to form the hybrid culture. There was a lot of reading for this. Before I do convert, though, I just want to make sure I have 6. The pillars are all good. And I think the naming is also good. Let's change the colour. Oh dear, that was a close one. I think a nice green would be good. Maybe something like this. There we go. Done. Let's go ahead and form the hybrid culture. Each ruler can only form a hybrid culture once. The new culture will be unable to reform a new hybrid culture for 50 years. So let's go ahead and click the button. Finally. Spurred on by positive relations and increased cultural exchange, the Anglo-Saxon and Irish peoples have grown increasingly close over the years. Now individuals from these societies have begun to view themselves not as one or the other, but as both. Simultaneously, a new Anglo-Irish culture. Anglo-Saxon traditions and values form the backbone of this new culture, while various Irish attributes have been adapted and integrated to meet the needs of their new society. With the Anglo-Irish people now looking to me for guidance, it is time to set the stage for our shared future, to a new age, a new era, and a new people. So we go ahead and look at the map now. The Anglo-Irish are actually quite dominant already. A lot of the places have converted. Unfortunately, there are still some Irish here. And of course, we do have Anglo-Saxon as well. So these new Anglo-Irish are a new addition to the world. Let's go ahead and hold court. I think now would be a good time to hold court. Now that we've made this big announcement to the realm. Sitting on my throne, I gesture for my guards to open the doors of the hall. A stream of people file in, some lining up in front of my throne whilst others move out of the way so they can simply observe the proceedings. After several moments, all the movement in the chamber has ceased. All faces turn towards mine expectantly. In front of me I count 3 petitioners lined up in an orderly row waiting for me to call on them. Let's go ahead and gesture for the first in line to approach. My lord, I represent the Anglo-Saxon people of the earldom of Westmoreland, states Fructdale of Exeter, a nobleman from Dublin. Okay. So you're still Anglo-Saxon. We are devoted and faithful subjects, but our land is poor, underdeveloped and scarcely populated. Please allow us to recolonize it and to administrate it according to our traditions. Under your benevolent protection, our land can still prosper, and you should gain a new faithful vassal. So what happens here? Gets the earldom of Westmoreland. Okay. We lose some control level, but we gain pleased peasants for 50 years. Your people can populate the earldom of Westmoreland. I want to go ahead and see where this is. If I do this and then do this... Okay, so Westmoreland is over here. So he wants me to give this up. I don't actually mind doing this, actually. Very well, your people can populate. There we go. We'll trust him to look after the land for us. A haggard-looking peasant now stands in front of me. My lord, I beg you for your help. A monster prowls in the forest of Dunholm, killing cattle and farmers alike. Few have seen it, but the mangled remains of its poor victims leave no doubt. It's clearly a huge wolf as bloodthirsty as few have ever been seen. Please send your strongest hunters and save us from its voracious jaws. Gunhilda Hastings here. So just a guest. Now because we are brave, I think we should go and let's go and fell the beast myself. It will be a good way to show that the Anglo-Saxons and the Irish are united, and together we will face our problems. So I will go and fell the beast myself. The unrepentant Princess Bridget graces you with her presence. So this is my aunt, chancellor, and vassal. Haltingly she begins. My high king, I am a loyal and willing subject. Let me practice my faith in peace. We Irish insularists worship God just as the Orthodox do. Leave your Christian brothers to worship as they please, united instead against the wicked infidels who follow false demons and allow Satan to corrupt their hearts. So, come, let me show you the word of Saint Catherine. So we could show her that even though they are both Christian religions, we could maybe convert her to the Orthodox. Let's try it. Let's try and open her eyes to the wider picture. And in fact, her and her family have now converted to Orthodox, so that makes things a bit easier. As the last petitioner departs, various courtiers follow them out of the room, having business to attend elsewhere. Others remain, talking amongst themselves about the recent proceedings. Soon the ceremonial formality of the proceedings has dropped away entirely, with the hum and bustle of normal courtly life taking its place. But business here is done. And there we go, another court session successfully carried out there. Inspired person can be sponsored. I'm not sure about that. And luckily, we still have the Reclaim Britannia option in case we do want to do that in future. So I am a fan of that. Now, how is our champion situation looking? We do have men of quite good prowess. So let's go ahead and unpause. Task aborted. Okay. We don't need to promote culture anymore. Oh, what's this? Convince de jure territory. The target county requires its ruler to hand it over to its de jure liege. Oh, we can do this here. Let's actually do that. That's amazing. That's a peaceful way to regain our lands. I like that a lot. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do this. We can go on a hunt. However, I think I want to host a feast to celebrate the new culture. So let's go ahead and save just a tiny bit more gold. And then we can go ahead and host a feast. The monster of Ulfrek Chivador. All the preparations completed. I set out with a selected group of guards to face the infamous monster that is terrorizing the lands. It doesn't take us long to find it. A clear trail of blood leads us straight to the creature's abode. I was already informed of what to expect, but when the massive wolf finally stands in front of me, I can't help but shiver. Face me, you foul beast. Oh, we can't pick this one because we're brave, so we have no chance but to fight it. Face me, you foul beast. We have a chance of gaining a trait here, or we could die. So let's go ahead and click on this one. Hopefully we don't die. That would be rather early in our ruling here. Is there going to be a pop-up? No pop-up for that, really. Maybe it's just being a bit slow. And a faction targeting us has also disbanded, which is nice. But first, the family craft. I am just finishing up the day's business in my council chambers when my wife, High Queen Borislava, saunters in with her brother, Svetoslav, eagerly at her heels. I put down the ledger I was just reading, knowing no good can come from this unexpected visit. Are you a dwarf? Haha, you are. Okay. Nothing against dwarfs, of course. Borislava hesitantly remarks upon the room's furnishings. Don't these bare stone walls drive you the least bit mad? I know exactly what this room needs. Tapestries. My brother is excellent with a needle and thread. Sponsor him and see his creation. How his creation will improve your mood. 50 gold, though. My queen, we're currently saving for a feast. But I don't want to disappoint my wife either. I have been thinking the same. It's dreadful in here. Okay, I'll give you the 50 gold. The feast can wait. Thank you for putting your trust in me, my lord. Svetoslav smiles and continues. Your confidence is not misplaced, for I have spent years practicing my techniques and woven some truly wonderful rugs and drapes. For you, though, I think a tapestry would be best. A well-woven one can really command the attention of a room and say something about its owner. The only question is, what should the tapestry show? Good question. So we could something showcasing the untamed beauty of nature, the history of the Kingdom of Ireland, or representation of what life is like. I think a history of the Kingdom of Ireland would be good to remind people where we came from, and that we have strong roots here in Britannia. So let's go ahead with the history option, and I hope there's some kind of event pop up for that fight, because we don't really know what happened there. We didn't gain the stress, so I'm not quite sure. And oh dear, my court physician just died as well. So we have a new patriarch now. Luckily he likes us. What we do need to do, however, is recruit a new court physician. There we go. Let's go ahead and give it to our new patriarch. I think I'm fine with that. We have a pop-up here. Artifacts have low durability. Okay. But we're waiting for the feast, so that's fine. We might be able to reform our religion soon, too. We could go on a hunt. Not right now. Okay, this will pop up eventually. Lately, my efforts to impress have fallen flat. My friendship with Diox is still standing on shaky ground. Princess Bridget still rejects me. It's a mess. However, I've got a brilliant idea. I'll have my brother-in-law Svetoslav add a dedication to the masterpiece he is making. The flattered dedicatee will be deeply touched by my generosity and munificence, and will have no choice but to like me more. It's the history of Ireland. I don't think dedicating it to a vassal is a good idea, especially a vassal that hasn't contributed much. I'll find other ways to impress whomever I want. There we go. And it looks like we have my son here. He's not my heir. He does now have a new daughter. So this will be the granddaughter of the current King Louis of West Francia. Since the little one is a part of my dynasty, he should be blessed with a good name. Let's go ahead and give him an Anglo-Irish name. Let's see. Gunhilda. There we go. That sounds nice. May you grow strong and wise. Welcome to these new lands. Spouse aids you in learning studies. We gain focused student for 4 years, +1 learning, and we also gain some experience. That's nice. We also swayed one of our vassals, and we have now unlocked a new learning perk. We already have scholar. So let's start going down the theologian tree, because we really want to get to prophet so we can reform Orthodox into hopefully Irish Orthodoxy. Let's see. This is the one we want. So let's go ahead and get faithful. That's a +10 opinion from the clergy there. That should help us in the short term. How old are we currently? We're currently 43, so we should have plenty of years left as well, which is very nice to see there. Let's keep the game on pause though and see if we can get some pop-ups happening. And it looks like another faction has disbanded, so it looks like people are actually beginning to like us in our rule as well. How much progress is this having? This is increasing nicely. Your brother-in-law Svetislav ruined my new garb. My courtier Ide storms into the room, followed by the weaver. The piece of clothing she holds in her hands is so badly cut up that I cannot tell what it once was. You're overreacting. I was simply studying the weave of the fabric. It's important for my project. Oh dear. I think you are taking it too far. Study your own clothes if you have to. You can't just go around my court cutting up everyone's clothes. It's not very respectful, to say the least. Now we could build some buildings in Dublin as well and get some upgrades flowing. Maybe we save our gold to upgrade things such as the trade port or even the farms. I might be a better use of our gold. However, I would really like to host a feast just because it would be nice to celebrate the new culture. This is ridiculous, Nest protests. As the keeper of the High King's personal collection, I have a responsibility to ensure the quality of your work. You will see it once it's finished, Svetislav retorts. You should leave a man to his work when he is weaving a historical record fit for royalty. Now, because he's already pushed his luck once, I would actually like my antiquarian to oversee him. Nest will ensure its quality. Yeah, Nest, can you please overlook him? And because of that, it will actually be of slightly higher quality. So there we go. Hopefully he will learn to respect my courtiers a little bit more. Already cutting up some of their clothes and now causing some conflict issues. Not having a good time so far, is he? My wife's brother here. In here, my lord. My brother-in-law Svetislav gestures to the door of his weavery, where he has been toiling for months on my commission. Stepping through the doorway, I gasp as I gaze upon the work hanging in front of me. A large satin tapestry of excellent craftsmanship. The cloth depicts the foundation of the Kingdom of Ireland and other major historical events leading up to the reign of High King Fursu. So look at that. Renown plus 0.2 per month and court grandeur bonus. This is lovely. Indeed it is. In fact, maybe we go ahead and put this up on our wall. Oh, we can put a book on display. For some reason we didn't have a book on display. Now, which tapestry do we want to replace? This gives us more gold. Oh, I like gold. Oh, but the renown is also really nice. It is indeed. For now, I think we're just going to keep it in reserve. Today I was given grave news. My son Christophorus has fallen ill with pneumonia. The future is uncertain. Death lingers closely by his bedside, yet he might survive. Only God knows. The physician wants to know how my son should be treated. How old is he? He's 17. Oh dear, racked by coughs and dizzy with fever, Christophorus suffers from an infection of the lungs. He is obese as well. The choice is up to my son. I think he's old enough to make his own decisions now. I will leave the decision up to him to what he wants done with himself. My daughter, Eudoxia, is more likely to receive a good education. Thank you very much there. High Queen Barasava gains scholarly expertise. Another learning. My wife is very good here. And we can finally host a feast. So let's go ahead and send the invitations. I know it's very expensive, but I really, really do like to celebrate such events. And creating a new hybrid culture, I think, is a very big event. So we will go ahead and hold the feast in Dublin. The guests are gathered in a great hall. Lords and ladies from the near and far reaches of the realm. The mood is bright and spirits are high as the feast begins. Welcome, friends. So we go ahead and pause. There we go. There's the feast. Two of my vassals did decline, but they don't dislike me. And plenty of vassals are actually attending here. So let's go ahead and see what kind of chaos arises in this feast. I did everything I could, ensuring that Duchess Stefania and Joel Condal would be as far away from each other as possible. It was not enough, and now they have come to blows in the middle of my feast. One of my guards is close to the brawl and looks to me for the order to intervene. Now I am a lot closer to Joel Condal here. My cousin I'm not really on good terms with by the looks of it. So if we restrain my cousin, Yola Condal would like me even more, which I think is fitting because she's the one that already likes me anyway. So let's go ahead and restrain Stefania until things calm down a little bit. And hopefully we can all drink and eat and have fun for the rest of the feast. My lord, the wine! We cracked open the next barrel. It has gone bad. It has all gone bad. The feast is still raging, but without drink the mood is sure to dwindle at a cruel place. Oh dear, we don't have 70 gold. We all have the pitching. Come on now. So everyone's going to have to dish out some gold here so we can keep on drinking and have a good evening. Of course, we do take a bit of a prestige hit there. With everyone headed for their respective homes, I am proud to say that the feast was a success. I have my wife Borislava to thank for much of its success, and I feel nothing but gratitude as she sees the last few guests off. Until next time, so we gain some prestige and everyone gains 20 opinion of us for 10 years. That's nice. And we've also leveled up. We're now illustrious, so secular opinion plus 10 as well as plus 2 knights allowed. And now what's popping up here? We can declare wars. Maybe next episode we can go ahead and declare some wars. We could declare war against Sweden. We have some claims. The Jarldom of Viking, that's all the way over here. Oh, that's interesting. We could also declare war against the King of England. These aren't our claims, though, are they? Unfortunately, they're not. So we're not going to be doing that most likely. And then we also do have King Peter of Alba. I have some claims to the Kingdom of Alba, so we could reunite. We could reunite Britannia, maybe. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what kind of wars do you think would fit our character. We are temperate, brave, and sadistic. But the fact we are brave, maybe we will bravely try and reunite Britannia, just like our mother tried. But sadly, that's it for today. A bit of a slower paced episode there, but we did manage to form the Anglo-Irish culture, and in the coming episodes I think we're going to do some more war and try and get some more land underneath ourselves. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll be back on Friday with the next episode. I'll see you next time.